Namaste children. In the previous lectures we discussed about the cloning vectors, that how the foreign DNA it is inserted in the cloning vector and what are the features it should be there in a suitable or good cloning vector. And we discussed about the key tools that are necessary for the construction of the recombinant DNA, like the restriction enzymes, the DNA ligase, foreign DNA, plasmid DNA, etc. So today we will discuss about the isolation of DNA, that how this foreign DNA that is produced, means how this foreign DNA that is isolated from the cell. Children, where does the DNA that is present? DNA, it is present in the nucleus region of the cell. It is the nucleus region, and here the DNA that is present. Now how this DNA that is isolated, as it is present in the nucleus also and the cell membrane. How these membranes that are cleaved. So these are cleaved by the action of the enzymes. By the action of the enzymes. In case of bacteria, which enzyme that is used? That is lysozyme enzymes that are used for cleaving the membranes of the bacteria. And in case of plant cells, as the cell wall, they contain cellulose, so that's why cellulase enzyme it is responsible for cleaving. Next, like in case of animal cells, animal cell membrane, how does it cleave? It is cleaved by the action of the chitinase, if chitin that is present. Now next is that DNA, it is associated with several proteins also. Proteins in the form of histones that are associated with the DNA. So how does these proteins that are separated? These are separated by the action of the proteinase enzyme. By the action of the proteinase enzyme, what does happen? It cleaves the protein. It cleaves protein. And if suppose RNA that are present in the cell, so that are cleaved by the action of the ribonuclease. Okay, ribonuclease, it is responsible for cleaving the, it cleaves the RNAs. So in this manner, the various macromolecules which are present with the, which are associated with the DNA, that are separated with several enzymes. Okay, so now we want the pure DNA form. Okay, so how this pure DNA form, that we will extract from these macromolecules, from the cleaved macromolecules. So now after this, what happened? The chilled ethanol that is added. Chilled ethanol. So when the chilled ethanol it is added, then what happened? It precipitates the DNA. It precipitates the DNA. Okay. The DNA that is present in the supernatant DNA, it will get precipitated. And in this manner, we will easily, with the help of the glass rod, we can separate it. We can isolate the DNA from the cell. So now children, next we will discuss about the polymerase chain reaction. It is also known as PCR. And what is the purpose of this reaction, polymerase chain reaction? To produce the billions of copies of the desired DNA. And what is the role of the DNA in the rDNA? That desired DNA only that is constructed in the plasmid DNA to form the rDNA. Clear? So how the billion copies that are produced of the desired DNA using the PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. one more thing, that this method, that is an in vitro method. In vitro method. Now let's discuss about the steps of the PCR one by one in detail. So first step, that is the denaturation. As what is denaturation? Denaturation means that the two DNA strands, means the strands of the DNA molecule, it will get separated, okay, at high temperature. So what is the temperature that is provided? The temperature which is provided to the desired DNA, which has to be amplified to produce more copies, that is 94 degrees Celsius for around 2 minutes. Then what happens? The strands of the DNA, it will get separated. Why? Because the hydrogen bonds that are present in between these two strands, that will get break down. So as these strands, as the hydrogen bonds that will get break down, so the strands, they also get separated. Now the next step, that is the second step, that is the annealing. Annealing means the primers annealing. Okay, primers that are annealed here at both the strands. At which temperature? That is 40 to 60 degrees Celsius for around 1 minute. So both the strands, they have primer. And what is the role of the primer? Primer, it initiate the reaction, as you have done in the DNA replication. When we discussed about the DNA replication, the role of the primer is to initiate the reaction. Okay, it initiate the strand formation, but it will not but it is not responsible for the extension of the DNA molecule. Clear? So when the primers that are annealed here, okay, then what happened? After that, Taq polymerase and DNTPs that are added for the next step, that is the extension process. Third, that is the extension process. As the primers, they are only responsible for initiating the reaction. Okay, now what happened, that during the extension process, the DNTPs that are adding on, okay, they will add on here at the 3' end of the primers, here also and here also. And in this manner, this strand, it will get extended like this. Okay, from the primer, this strand, it will get extended. And from here also, from the primer, when the DNTPs that are added on the 3' end, then this is responsible for the elongation of the DNA strand. Okay, so now we have the daughter strands also here, this one, and one having parental strand, means the semi-conservative mode of nature. Okay, now why the Taq polymerase that is used here? What is the purpose for that? Taq polymerase that is used because it is thermostable. It is thermostable, means at high temperature also it remains quite stable, and it is isolated from the Thermus aquaticus, isolated from Thermus aquaticus bacteria. Okay, this enzyme, it functions as DNA polymerase. What is the role of the DNA polymerase in the DNA replication? It helps in the extension process. Similarly, in place of DNA polymerase, Taq polymerase that is used for the extension process. Why? Because it is quite stable in the high temperature also. At high temperature also it is quite stable. As during the extension process, what is the temperature? That is 72 degrees Celsius for 2 minutes it is provided. Now next is that when all these three processes that will occur, then what happen? One means two DNA molecules that are produced, and each DNA molecule, it consists of one daughter strand. Okay, so if suppose each DNA strand of this, it will undergo 30 cycles, then what happen? We will get 1 billion copies. 1 billion copies of the desired DNA. This is the desired DNA, and we will get around billions of copies of this desired DNA. Okay, so in this manner the PCR, it occurs, means it is responsible for producing the billions copies of the desired DNA. So what are the steps? First, that is denaturation, second, that is annealing, and third, that is extension process. In case of denaturation, both the strands they will get separated, and in the annealing process what happen, the primers that will get annealed here. Okay, and in the extension process, the primers means in the annealing process they are responsible for initiating the reaction, and in case of extension, the Taq polymerase, it is responsible for the elongation of the DNA strand. Okay, so now the desired DNA fragments that are ready to construct the rDNA when they are ligated with the plasmid DNA in the presence of DNA ligase inside.